Cricket on ESPN Classic. Sponsored by CompuTeach. Cricket on ESPN Classic. Sponsored by CompuTeach. Your future in safe hands.
Play began in overcast conditions on the second day of the first Test match at Edgbaston. The threat of heavy rain about, and England desperately needing a quick breakthrough to justify Mike Dinessa's original decision with the toss. Australia, for their part, had 243 on the board at the start for the loss of 5 wickets. England took the new ball immediately, and Geoff Arnold bowled to Rodney Marsh.
And straight away beating him outside the off stump. A little bit of early movement there with the new ball. But it's John Snow now to Rod Marsh. That's not far away from a caught bowl from Marsh. It's beaten Snow and going 2 for 4. And further problems with the balls here at Edgbaston. Various complaints all morning by the England pace bowlers, and umpire Bird has now produced 3 full boxes of balls, and surely they can find one there which is going to be suitable and agreeable to all concerned. Marsh, the batsman, looking totally disinterested, really wants to get on with the game more than anything else. And so after a delay of a full 4 minutes here, we resume in play with Arnold bowling to Marsh. And that's an edge, and it's safely pouched this time, so whether it was a change of ball or not, it did the damage. It delighted Arnold. It's the end of Marsh, and Fletcher making up for that error he made last night when he dropped Marsh in a similar position. Well, I don't think Gary Marsh was entirely happy about that. He had a few words to say. If anybody was good at lip reading, he might have disagreed with the fact that there was all that conflab about the balls. Still, he's played a fine innings for his country there. 61 extremely useful runs, taking the score on to 265 at the fall of the 6th wicket. So a good couple of days for the Marsh brothers. His older brother Graham doing so well in the open golf. Well, if England think they're through this Australian side, here is Max Walker, who in actual fact finished 3rd in the Test match batting averages in Australia. He's the next man out as Fletcher there takes that catch again at slip.
John Snow now. It's taken off about middle stump, I would think. A very game stroke. Edwards has that little shuffle across the crease that gets him into awful trouble sometimes. Other times, like that, it drives the bowler to the brink of frustration. Yes, that would have hit middle and off, I should think. And now a change in the bowling. Geoff Arnold has come off, having had only 8 runs taken from his spell of 6 overs. Took a wicket as well, Rodney Marsh, and now Chris Holt is the man coming on from the city end. Most of this innings has been taken up with seam bowlers operating, so the over 8 hasn't been anything to write home about. And that is not out according to umpire. Yes, it is. He put his hand in his pocket and then took it out again. So Walker is gone. The 7th wicket goes down at 286. There's a big shout from the bowler and from behind the wicket. Umpire Bird, the man making the decision. 286 for 7 now, with Walker caught not. Bowled Snow. There is the ball pitching and Walker playing at it. No deflection visible there, but the slips seem quite confident that it just found a very faint outside edge. And Ross Edwards will be looking for the single off the last ball of this over. And that is down again. Now that is a little sitter, that one. Well, Fletcher has caught 2 in this inning so far, and he's put down 2.
It's a good, firm, lusty blow. One bounce into the pavilion. Struck very solidly over mid-on by Jeff Thompson. A difficult man to set a field for, because Arnold obviously wants to keep his 2 slips, but he needs somebody out. So that good, solid blow by Thompson, bringing up the 300 for Australia. 302 then. 2 wickets gone down this morning. And Thompson moving on to 10. And that's cracked again through mid-wicket. What a right hand coming to that. But found the middle of the bat very successfully there for 4 more. Old to Edwards. And hoisted that high in the air over mid-on. Hasn't even timed it then. Boot should cut that off, but they'll get 3 and he'll go through to his 50. So that's been a real long, tough, hard battle for Ross Edwards, but he's eventually made it. It's taken him 248 minutes, so 4 hours and 8 minutes. Still some distance away from Trevor Bailey's 6 hours at the crease for his 50 in Brisbane. And following it with a great shot. In fact, the best shot I think he's played in his 4 hours. Cracking Arnold through extra cover. Really timed that, got to the pitch of it nicely. And that should be out. It's a simple catch to mid-on, and Graham Gooch making the catch. So the end of a long, tough battle there by Ross Edwards. Never really in touch at all, but grafted away, and grafted well for his side. Played and missed on so many occasions, but his temperament held good. And after something like 4 hours and 10 minutes, he's the 8th man out for Australia. They're facing Arnold, the bowler. And that's a catch, an inside edge tossed up by Alan Knott, so a very useful wicket that for Arnold and for England. Coming on the very last ball of the morning's play, Lillee being snapped up behind. A particularly good catch, that, catching the inside edge, and Alan Knott taking it well down the leg side. So success for Jeff Arnold there in his 33rd over, his 3rd wicket of the Australian innings. And this is how it came about. Off the last ball before lunch, ball coming in very nicely from outside off stump, inside edge, and Alan Knott having to go away to his left, just snaffling it up inches from the ground.
Alan Knott is the fields out. Well done by Alan Knott, keeping Mallet down here at the striker's end. Thompson was looking for 2, but turned blind at the bowler's end. And 350 comes up for Australia. 49 now to Jeff Thompson, and the fact that he's made his 49 runs has forced Mike Denness in the end to bring on spin. That Underwood should have been on quite a bit earlier to bowl at the tail enders. He'll keep them quiet enough, and at the same time I should think have a little bit more luck with the draw than medium pacers have had. He'll be bowling to Thompson with 4 men on the offside plus a slip. Well bowled by Underwood. He's not giving Thompson that one just in the slot to hit away down the ground. Thompson but sensibly has one eye on his first half century in Test cricket. And he's out. Jeff Arnold, the catcher. Thompson out for 49. Underwood takes the wicket to complete the Australian innings at 359. Ashley Mallett remains 3 not out. Thompson caught Arnold, bowled Underwood, 49. Well, you can see from that scorecard just how valuable was Jeff Thompson's innings. Just what Ian Chappell wanted at that time of the Australian knock. And I think it was the best first-class innings I've seen Jeff Thompson play. Well, after the Australian innings concluded, Dennis Lillee had time to bowl only the 1 over before the rains came down. And no doubt the Australians were looking at this with great joy. Not so the Englishmen. They'd toiled out there for 359 runs, and now we had this. Rain belting down, and a really miserable sight there for spectators, but even more miserable for those England batsmen sitting in the dressing room looking at this scene. Because we're just about to see now the rain belting down on that uncovered pitch. Just the ends of the pitch covered, the rest of it open to the elements, and just what Lillee, Thompson and Walker would have wanted. Well, Jeff Thompson, after the 94 minutes play had been lost, opened the bowling from the city end with Lillee. Thompson bowled 2 overs of absolute rubbish, including 4 wides, but it was Lillee who got the first breakthrough for the Australians in the 9th over of the innings. The score then was only 9, and he was bowling to Dennis Amiss.
Well, that's bad luck. Lifted, nothing he could do about it. Short of a length, Amiss has gone, and Lillee has struck again. So the first blow and victory there going to Amiss, going to Lillee. Amiss the man out. So only 4 runs again to Dennis Amiss, having fallen so very often to Dennis Lillee. That one lifting off a length and a simple catch to Thompson in the leg trap. So Amiss out with the score on 9 for 1. This ball from Lillee, shortish, dug in, lifting up there. See Amiss in an effort to try and keep the ball down, turning his wrists, but unable to do so. And Thompson taking the catch at short leg. Lillee hustling back now to get on with the action. Keith Fletcher to face. Nicely away. Beautiful little flick off the legs for 4 runs. Nobody back on the boundary with this all-attacking field. Anything beating those fielders sure there to go for 4. So that could do Keith Fletcher's confidence an awful lot of good. If he played the other pretty well, he didn't play that awfully well. Lillee undoubtedly making his presence felt here. Fine opening spell from him. That's the last ball of his over there to Fletcher. And the Essex batsman in all kinds of a tangle.
Max Walker now to bowl to John Edridge. Just out of reach of Dennis Lillee. The 3 runs there for John Edridge. Walker to Fletcher. Fletcher now faces Walker. And that is out. Not a very good shot. The ball didn't seem to me to do a great deal there, and Fletcher was playing at it rather half-heartedly just outside the off stump. He wasn't across to cover it. And that's the second England wicket down, with the total at 24. Caught by Ashley Mallet at gully off Max Walker. Fletcher out for 6. And Edridge is the not-out batsman at the other end on 8, 24 for 2. That's missing leg stump. That one. It's a pretty good delivery. It beat Edridge back defensive stroke. Walker to Edridge. And that's a good shot. Picked up and hit away behind square leg. The outfielder slowed, but it'll still be 4. Walker to Edridge. Good shot. Nice crisp stroke away through mid-off. Jeff Thompson is the man after it. Interesting to see if Thompson bowls it in or throws it in. Too sure how his shoulder is at the moment. In fact, it's an Under Armour. Thompson to Dinesh. Thompson again to Dinesh. Let's take the 2 runs there.
Walker to Dinesh. It's out, and nicely caught by Greg Chappell at second slip. Good ball from Walker. Dinesh pushing forward and beautifully picked up at second slip by Greg Chappell. So Dinesh is out for 3. Max Walker has a second victim, and England are 46 for 3. So as the England captain departs, an encouraging hand from the Edgbaston crowd for the English newcomer Graham Gooch from Essex, the youngest batsman to play for England since Colin Cowdrey in Australia in 1954. So here's Max Walker, and it's Graham Gooch receiving his first ball in Test cricket. Hop from Max Walker. It was a good length ball. If that had been 6 inches nearer the off stump, Gooch would have had to play it. Walker to Gooch. Oh, that's a relaxed, confident sort of shot. Dropping the wrist on it. Gooch facing Walker. Oh, and he's caught off a thin deflection down the leg side. Walker absolutely delighted, and Gooch, sadly, in his first innings for England, 3rd ball, unlucky. An unlucky way to get out. Thin deflection, and England plunging even more into trouble. 46 for 4. Thompson again to Edridge. And he didn't know where it was at all, and the ball dropping short of Walker there on the leg side. There hasn't been a run scored off the bat by England, indeed any kind of a run, for 14 minutes, and in that period 2 wickets have fallen. It's Thompson to Edridge, and it might have been a 3rd. And with his high action, digging it in. Comes right over the top, and Gregg has hit him an enormous blow over long on. And did that drop inside the rope? It's just 4. First bounce, it was very nearly 6. The first run for nearly 25 minutes after 4 successive maiden overs. And the 50 up. Remarkable stroke with which to get off the mark. Oh, it looked as if he got a tickle on that. Max Walker going up, and it runs down for 4. Certainly has to go down as a half chance, because Rodney Marsh certainly got a glove to it. It's worth another look. Max Walker bowling very close to the stumps, trying to leg glance him, and certainly got his left glove to it. Might have picked it up. Been a marvellous catch if he'd done it. Oh, that's out. Must be out. England in a heap of trouble here. Tony Gregg caught behind by Rodney Marsh. The delighted Max Walker. His 4th successive wicket. There it is again, Max Walker in this productive spell. And my goodness, he followed that one. And no trouble for Rodney Marsh to swallow that catch down the offside.
A little chat piece there between Edrich and Lillee. He left it alone. Lillee thought it might have been a bit too close to leave alone, but the judgment of the batsman was good. And that's a chance to march, spilled out. So Rodney Marsh has had 2 difficult chances behind the stumps there, 1 wide down the leg side, and that a difficult diving catch. Quite right to go for it. Don't think it would have carried to slip. But Edrich getting a let off there, the ball going down. Marsh a little slow possibly in going for it, but you can't criticise a keeper missing a chance like that. Don't think it would have carried to slip.
At 6:30, when we used to finish, the score was 46 for 4. Australia have had that much more use of this rain-affected pitch, and it does advance the game considerably. If you get a rain-affected pitch, you're more likely to get a result.
What a fine ball. Allen not hopelessly late on that. And the wicket that England didn't really want to lose with just 15 minutes to go. So Lillee strikes again. The 6th English wicket to go down. Allen not the victim this time. Out for 14. Comprehensively bowled. And the score on 75. Pitching just outside the off stump and coming back, finding that little gap there, but beaten there by the extra little bit of pace from Lillee. And that must be fairly close. Yes, that's out. Error of judgment there by John Edrich. He's been flashing at balls 2 and 3 feet wide outside the off stump, and then decided to pad up to 1, which was very close indeed.
Well, that really is a sorry sight for English cricket fans. Just 2 men there reaching double figures in that sad total of 83 for 7. John Edrich, a fighting innings, a typically fighting Edrich knock, 34. Allen Knott, 14. No one else into double figures. And really a desperate sight for Mike Denness, his men, and everyone following this test match around Britain. Well, 77 needed now to save the follow-on for England. The pitch, if there's no more rain once play starts tomorrow, should be very good indeed. It should roll out nicely tomorrow. There'll be a few little divot marks in it, but England really do face a terribly difficult task. Mike Diness's decision to give Australia first use of the pitch, it was bad luck today to have the rain, but it still is a very, very baffling decision and one that looks like costing England this first test match.